All right, here we are, y'all. Welcome to
Hello,
the show.
friends.
It's a Nike sweatshirt gang today. I was gonna change and do my hair and all that fun stuff, but they're just getting it raw today. This is where we're at.
I don't have any hair, so
He doesn't have to worry about that so much.
You know, it's fine. It is what it is.
But pro tip, I have realized some coconut oil does some wonders.
Yeah.
You know, I'm learning the game here, the long hair game, slowly, but obviously we're going raw today.
Yeah.
But this is week 3 of this peak cycle. So as you've noticed, if you're watching this by now, if you've been following along with the programming, first 2 weeks, we just kind of we just went right in there. So this third week is going to be like a little bit of a back off week before we really start to push and kind of get into the thick of things. All right. So we'll let T Sweat. Well, if you got any opening comments, go ahead, and then if not, we'll just roll on here.
No, hey guys, it's more of the same, and things as it changes, the weather gets a little colder, and you feel the season start to shift. We go from like the warm, vibrant, high energy summer to now like the cooler, more relaxed fall, and then into like the honestly like hibernation, like restful winter. Just expect some changes. Expect to wake up and have maybe different levels of energy, different levels of maybe motivation, discipline. I would say know that there are probably going to come days where like, man, I don't know, man, I'm not really feeling it. Like there's going to be times you may have to like drag your butt into the gym, but this is the important moment. It's easy when like, oh yeah, I got all this energy, motivation's high. Like it's easy to show up in those times. It's harder to do that when the energy is a little bit lower. But discipline, right? Choosing yourself, choosing those things that you know you should do that are good for you, even when you don't really want to do it. That's going to be what builds that confidence and that love with yourself. And like you form a bond that you know, hey, like, you know what I mean? Like they would tell you, like, you can't remember the last time. I mean, we've taken breaks, but like he hasn't missed, training session in years because it's just a commitment he's made to himself. And like, that commitment to yourself will be very important for you going forward as a person, as an athlete, all of it. So we'll get into it. But yeah, I just want to let you guys know it's okay. We feel it too. Like we feel it to this days we wake up and like, you guys think we just show up no matter what. But like there's times it's hard to, and we get that. So just know we're all in it together.
Yep. Just build the habit of showing up for yourself every day, especially on the days that you ain't feeling like it. Those are the days, even though the performance or whatever kind of expectations or whatever you may have about how you think things should go, just that mental capacity of, and even the emotional capacity of you said you were going to do something. And again, like you were saying, when we got all the energy and everything's great, and then we like make these commitments, like fuck yeah, I'm gonna start training 5 days a week. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna start my new diet program, and then you start it up, and then you get a little tired, might get a little beat up. Things get inconvenient. Different life circumstances come up, and it's like that's when it's really important to hold yourself accountable. Absolutely. And it's gaining that capacity for yourself is very powerful, and I feel like it's just a strength of mine just through my whole life experience or whatever, and really it comes through just passion. Like when you're really passionate about something, you're willing to really give your all to something, that kind of acts as a catalyst to be able to really push yourself and to commit yourself to the process. But I mean, that's also why we all have each other. We're not in this alone. We can hold each other accountable. I mean, that's what we're here for, to help everybody through this process, because it does get challenging. But again, if you can choose to continue to show up and like literally just show up. So many times I've went into the gym with all these expectations and I just completely like everything went to shit. But it's like I showed up. Other times, I go in with absolutely no expectations, and then I end up having a pretty damn good day. So it's like you just never know. You can have high energy and still perform very poorly. You can have super low energy and still perform amazingly. You really never know. That's why with all the little structures and like the whole program and all the other things that we have in place, that we were just talking about before we started recording, it's kind of like this, like a pacifier. So it's like, mentally, I've got these structures in place, but ultimately the whole point of that isn't the goal of just having the structures in themselves. It's having that in place so that you can ultimately just let it go. So you can just kind of surrender to wherever life's flowing. And I think the concept of surrender is important, because there's a lot of misconceptions. I think when you hear the word surrender, it's kind of like this, I'm just going to like lay back and just let life happen. And sometimes that is the case. Sometimes surrender very much does look like, let me just like let everything go and just whatever happens, and I'm just going to just flow with it. But sometimes surrender is like, and again, the act of the surrender, the beingness of the surrender is just allowing for whatever is coming through to come through. Sometimes what's coming through is like, I'm called, even if it does still feel very difficult and challenging, I'm called right now to really push myself and like see what my limits are, and to really, give everything I have to this thing, which may look like I'm working harder than I've ever worked in my entire life. And that in itself can be an act of surrender. So it's helpful to kind of have that differentiation, which again is why having these little things in place and, kind of the way that the program is designed, it's all to hopefully help that process to kind of try to mimic the natural flow of nature a little bit, the natural flow of just the seasons and the rhythms of things. So you have a little bit of that on the back end. So then on the front end, you just see what happens. And that's the fun. All right. So anyways, this is week 3. So we're starting in this little build phase of the peak cycle. So this is going to be a 2-2-3. So just a little refresher, because we may have some new people trickling in here. All these numbers are out of 5, so it's like a 2 out of 5. The first number is the volume, the middle number is the density, and then the last number is the intensity. And the density is in parentheses because the density, so the volume is like how much you're doing. The density is kind of like how much you're doing within a given amount of time. And then the intensity is essentially like how heavy or how hard is it relative to your max effort, okay? So underlying the numbers, it really is just an intention. And like even within the day, so you'll see we have like the weakness day, and then a specific day, and a strength day, an accessory day, and a test day. So even those in itself, a lot of this comes with just the underlying intention of things. And that's a little lesson for life there, is when you can get really clear on the intention behind what you're doing, then the clarity of the actual specific thing that you're trying to do, like the actual specific result or goal, or specific amount of sets or specific amount of reps or specific percentage, that is a manifestation of the intention. Because the intention is of the heart. And the heart is a very powerful force that can guide the way. And then the mind, we can use our head, we can use our mind to create little systems and step-by-step plans and create little structures to help manifest the intention, okay? But if you have it the other way around, or if your heart's not involved and it's just all mental, that's where, you can have a tendency to lead yourself into some troubling places, which ultimately is going to lead you back to the heart anyways. At least that's what I've learned. All right, so he's got the boom boom, and then he's got the boom boom, and then he's got the boom boom, although that'd be a 4. And then, yeah, that's a boom boom.
Son of a shepherd.
Bada bing, bada boom. So you can see the whole cycle, right now we're in a peak year. So we have the rest, prep, build, peak. We're in a peak year, and then we're in the peak cycle, peak season of the peak year. So it's like we're kind of just really maximizing our current level of potential before we kind of restart this cycle. So we do that at the year level, and then at the quarter level, and then at even the week level. So this is the first week of the build phase within the peak cycle, within the peak year. So it all kind of like builds on top of, inside of each other. All right. And so then we have the days of the week. So even within the week, you can see how he broke this down here. So we have a prep phase of the week, a build phase, a peak phase, and a rest phase. And obviously we're in a peak year, in a peak cycle, so we give more emphasis to the peak phase right now, but this could change through the different cycles and the different seasons. And then we have the specificity prioritization, because the test is like what we're trying to get better at. Right now, what we're trying to get better at in this peak year is the Olympic lifting total, because that is kind of the peak manifestation of your power in this kind of bigger game that we are playing. So that's ultimately what we're trying to get better at right now, is trying to increase the Olympic lifting total. So that's the very specific thing. That's the test. That's what we're testing. And then right underneath that, you'll have the weakness.
So you want to go back to weakness being the first day?
Yeah. Did we flip those?
We switched to strength.
Yeah, no. So yeah, let's keep what we were doing.
Okay.
So yeah, weakness will be on day 3, and then we'll start with a strength day. So weakness is second, so that's the second priority. And then the strength is the third priority. And then accessory, which is the things. So test is what you're trying to get better at. Strength, or the weakness, is the things that are the weakest links, that if you make those things better, it'll help the test get better. And then the strength is the things that you're already good at, that if you get better at those things, they also make the test get better. And then the accessories are like things that help to hold everything together so you can keep doing the work of the weakness and the strength to get the test better. And then the specific is just like more specific work of what you're trying to get better at. And then last would be a technique. So that would be, yep.
This is the average.
Yep.
And then we just peak that.
Yep.
Nice.
He's getting the lingo.
I'm getting it.
So yeah, that's how you can see we take these numbers, and then there's like different little rules that we came up with to know how to change them based on it, whether it's a build or a prep or a peak or a rest. So a prep, and these are like little cheat codes. The prep, you take the numbers and you go up, up, down. So the volume goes up, density goes up, intensity goes down. And then the build, you keep the average. The build is the average, so you keep the same numbers. And then the peak, we'll prep that.
We'll prep the act.
Yeah, prep the act. Then the peak, you go down, down, up.
Okay, so that's
And then rest, you go down, 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 2. Yeah, boy.
cool.
Nice. Nice. All right, so overall, looking like a lighter week for sure. Definitely less volume. And with the less volume, that means that we're gonna, stay pretty specific. So not a whole lot of extras. So let's go ahead. And I do have, and if you're on the team, we'll go through the process of building out this athlete profile. That's what we're going to be getting into here in the coming weeks. But that allows you to more specifically see what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses. So I'm going to pull mine up here so we have that as reference. All right, so strength. So remember, this is stuff that you're already good at, that if you got better at it, that it would help you. So we'll just do like a technique, strength. So let's go ahead and let's see, technique. Let's do a snatch balance. We'll work on those bad boys as a technique. And then we'll do, let's see, a strength. would be like a So strength is what we're already good at. We want to get better at it. So let's just go ahead and do a power snatch.
This is strength next.
Yeah. They'll do a power snatch and then we'll do a front. Whoa!
That isn't gonna
He
work.
did.
Man, it's using these markers.
Yep. Don't worry, we got options. Let me see this bad boy.
You said power snatch?
Yep. I'm still working on this because I'm starting to like I'm doing this for myself, getting like my own data going here, and then you can have like create a ratio of power snatch, and then we'll do, you know what, actually because this is only a 1, so let's actually go ahead and do a jerk.
Instead of power snatch?
Yeah, instead of the power snatch. I think those need some, keep loving on those bad boys. Cool. So yeah, we got some snatch work, and then we'll do a front squat. So it's kind of like we're hitting different areas here. Perfect. So as you can see, it's not always like perfectly matched up. This is where you kind of use the coaching intuition and just your experience in things, but you have this overarching template to fall back on. And you can see here, to make it simple, you could kind of get a little more fancy with the numbers, but just to keep shit simple, you just keep the same thing. So it's 3, 3, 2 turns into 3 sets of 3 at a 2. 3 sets of 3 at a 2. All right, and then specific day. So it's only 2, so we're just gonna keep the snatch and the clean and jerk. And you'll see too, when we get into the rest year, I'm still kind of working out exactly what it's going to look like, but I'm imagining, I'm kind of like feeling that it's going to, we're going to really expand the scope. So there won't be so much emphasis on the Olympic lifts, even though we still will incorporate them, but we will probably get into more like, first and foremost, more like corrective exercises, just kind of things to make sure the body's feeling good, the body's in balance, just more even like calisthenic type stuff, just kind of overall, and then kind of moving into more just overall strength work. Because I feel like one of the best things that's really come out of this is like almost across the board, everybody's technique has made a lot of improvements. Mm-hmm. And now I'm seeing that like the thing that once the technique is at a certain point, especially with the Olympic lifts, it's like we just need to get strong as shit. So that's kind of as we're really where we're at, emphasizing the Olympic lifts. Then as we repeat this cycle, it's really, okay, now let's spend a lot of time like building the strength up now that we have this technical capacity. Because, if your technique stays the exact same, but your strength goes through the roof, like your lifts are going to go up. Okay. All right. Weakness. Most of the time. We'll do a back squat. Again, just kind of keep emphasizing the strength here. So we get a nice, decently heavy back squat. And I want to say too, even though you have like these parameters, if you feel like you want to, like, which I do sometimes, where I'll intentionally be very slow as I'm warming up, and I will do, even if I'm working up to just a 1 rep, I'll do sets of 5, I'll do sets of 3, like I'll do a little bit more volume working up, or even on the back down. When I finish the set and I do some drop sets or some back down sets, that you can play around with those things. But again, just being mindful of where everything is at, which is why we like to explain the bigger picture. So obviously if it's on a rest week and you're like, oh, I don't feel like I'm doing that much, and then you just go overboard, and then you kind of set yourself up where you're tired going into the next week. Well, obviously we don't want that. But again, within the parameters of what we're doing, if you feel called to add a couple extra things in, like that's kind of the beauty of having just the overarching template and the intention, and give yourself a little bit of freedom for that. All right, so accessory day. So it's a 2 with the volume. So we'll probably do like just technique and then accessory. So let's see, we did the jerk, we've done snatch balance, we've done the snatch and the clean and jerk. So maybe let's just do some.
Do like a power clean, like a push press,
Yeah.
like a power jerk, something like that.
Yeah.
Push press or power jerk.
Let's do a. I think we should add a pull in there.
Okay.
Just kind of do the pull. So do a pull into a power clean. With the push press. I think it'd be fine.
Gotcha.
Cool. Yes. Clean pull plus power clean plus push press.
Love it.
And so since that's like 3 and 1, we'll do 2 sets still, but we'll just do like 1 plus 1 plus 1. So you just do 1 of each, and then that'll be a set.
Plus 1. At 3.
Add a 3, yep. And then accessory wise, we'll maybe just do some like, let's see. I mean,
A little baby circuit.
yeah, a little baby circuit. I mean, it's a 2, so I mean maybe just 2 things.
Yeah.
So
Superset.
yeah, the superset. So feel like there's maybe some. I think they're like doing the lunge with the twist, because that way you can incorporate both of those things. Get a little twist, lunge action,
Right.
and then some kind of maybe shoulder. I mean, maybe just do the check press again on the Swiss ball, because that way you just, we get some shoulder activation in there, a little bit of pressing.
Yeah.
That'd be chill.
I like it. Wee. So, what? Well, like a walking lunge or
yeah,
rotation?
walking lunge with rotation or with twist. So you get you could either just do body weight or you get a medicine ball.
Rotation. Plus check press on Swiss ball.
Yep. So we'll keep those again. Or I don't know if they're there this week, but we did those last week. Nope, she did. Sometimes they say if you shake them, but she ain't baking when you shake them. All right, and that'll be, so we'll just do 1 round of that, keep it real light. And it's a 2. So again, just to keep it simple, we'll do like 100 feet. And then we'll do, we'll just do like 8 of those. Again, it's not, a 2, like technically a 2 would be more like 4 reps. But I just feel like we'll get a little higher reps on those. That'll be chill. And then test days. Test day.
You know what we do on test.
You know what we do on test day. Just fuck around and find out.
Send it.
And it's a 5, so we're gonna send it. Whoops. Old snatch, clean and jerk. There it is, y'all. And we got the resty.
Resty.
Hey, it's probably the straightest I've ever seen these bad boys.
You know what? I was like, I was super, bro. I freaking just downhill slow.
7. All right, take a little gander. It's a piece of art right here.
Piece of art.
So let's get to it. So remember, it's like a little bit more of a rest / prep week going into this build phase of the peak cycle. So have that intention in mind. We'll kind of do our thing during this week, and then we're gonna really pick it up. So it is gonna start picking up here. So these past few weeks, like yes, the past couple weeks have been a little challenging, but it's been more of that prep mentality. So we're kind of, should be feeling pretty decent as far as just overall capacity and shape. Like, hey, might be feeling a little tired and beat up, but overall, like, relatively in shape. and then we'll do a little rest, kind of back off a sec, and then full throttle. All right, y'all?
Love y'all. Keep going. Hey, just keep moving forward.
Yes, sir. Peace.